Hello and welcome to a very special interview with a very special person. I've known Maj Gen DK Singh for a while now. I know how passionate he is about sport. Maj Gen DK Singh, GOC Bengal sub-area, and of course the Vice Chairman of the Durand Cup organizing committee is somebody I've come to know about the last year and a half, and I've seen how he has pushed the impetus he has given to resurrecting the Durand Cup and now trying to promote new talent. Maj Gen Singh once again is not just restricted to one sport, i.e. football. The amount of support he has given to multiple marathons, multiple running events in Kolkata has given sport in this particular part of the world a great fillip. Maj Gen Singh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. First things first, you must be very pleased with the way so far people, for example in Ranchi, in Guwahati, in Imphal, have embraced the tournament and the way young talent are now being given a platform.
It's really nice to see that not only people are coming, but the stadiums are full. So, firstly, it proves a point, that football as a sport is gaining prominence. People are wanting to watch it. And in any case, this part of the country always celebrated football. And we are happy that Durand Cup is getting that kind of traction because there are a number of established teams, there are a number of newcomers. So people are coming to watch everyone. So that's very heartening.
That is actually my next question, that there was a thing that ISL teams aren't playing. My counter to that is you are wanting to promote football. Until and unless more players, younger players, new teams get a platform, how do you expand your talent pool in that sense? Otherwise, the Durand Cup and the ISL will become the same. What's the point?
I think more than the questions, you have answered it yourself. The aim of Durand Cup always has been since its inception that to promote football. And promoting football at the apex level is one thing, and nurturing new talent is the second part of it. So Army always took on the second part of it, because when a newcomer plays, there has to be a good balance between well-established team, ISL teams, Indian Football League teams, and local clubs which are coming in fresh. So when a young boy, when he plays with seasoned players, and these teams have foreign players also, so when they play with them, they get a wonderful experience. So the aim is that, we have to have a right balance of ISL teams, Football League teams and local clubs. And that is what we have seen it through this. Some of the newcomers have really beaten the old war horses. Mm-hmm. So that's very, very heartening to know.
Mm-hmm. My answer to this, sir, was a couple of days back, somebody said this to me, that, oh, but ISL teams aren't playing. So I said, then why is India playing Brazil? India should not play Brazil because it's the same deal, right? On the one hand, you're telling me that against Brazil, we will get great exposure. But then if younger clubs play a Mohun Bagan or an East Bengal, I will use the same argument. They will get great exposure and come up the ranks. But one thing that you and I were talking offline was Imphal, was Guwahati. Northeast has been a revolution as far as support is concerned. Your thoughts?
In this 135th edition, we changed two venues. In Jharkhand, we moved the game from Jamshedpur to Ranchi, the state capital, and in Assam, from Kokrajhar to Guwahati. So initially we were skeptical whether we will get the crowd support in both these states. But when we interacted with the state administration, the Honorable Sports Minister, the Chief Ministers, they kind of assured us that there is a willingness on part of the people to, in both these cities, to that the game should be held there. And now we are just through with our league stage. You'll be glad to know that all the stadiums were full. So whether the stadium was 20,000 or 25,000 capacity, they were all full for all the games. And it was again heartening to see that all age groups were present there. It was not only that there were school children, so all age groups were there. So, and especially I would like to mention Imphal. Mm-hmm. You are aware there is a little bit of strife in the state, but the kind of energy which was there in the crowd, it was packed.
I've seen some videos.
So I think it is really heartening to know that people are reaching out for this sport. And I will add on here, one of the teams was playing, and in their first match they did not do very well. So I asked the manager who was there with them They said, our team has never seen so many spectators.
So they got overall.
So the boys were awestruck. So connecting it to what we were talking earlier, when these new boys and the new clubs come in and they see packed houses and they see international level infrastructure, it gives them a wonderful exposure that what big game would be all about. So I think that is where Durand Cup is adding on.
Sir, that kind of tells me a story that, for example, Meghalaya is hosting the national games. The next national games, I was part of a summit about a couple of months back. You are telling me, and I've seen some footage about Imphal, about Guwahati, about Ranchi. Is it now time to actually look beyond the major cities, like the way, for example, Indian cricket has now become more democratic? Is that something you are sensing?
Yes, certainly. Because what happens, I'll answer it in two parts. One is that the boys and girls who are wanting to play either football or any sport, once they see a big game being organized, they get motivated. People get to see this, and the infrastructure of that smaller town also comes up. And once the infrastructure comes up, it gives opportunity to the young talent to play there. And I think that is the whole aim, that because established cities, established facilities will do good to a certain number of people. But the moment more we reach out, more infrastructure is created, more awareness is there amongst people, more they see, I think that'll do world of good to any sport, not only football.
So you mentioned girls. That's my next question. I need to ask you this, and I will preface it with what I've seen in Glasgow. I was talking to Jasmine Lamboria, and she says she was the first woman boxer in the army. And the amount of support she got in the army, no kidding, and she goes and wins a gold at the Commonwealth. Sakshi Chaudhary wins a gold at the Commonwealth. So many women from the army making India proud. So the contribution is immense. When are you giving us a women's Durand? Because that's something, a pressing need. Indian women's football is doing well.
The other day I was talking to one of the magazines, and they asked me the same question. So I answered that, back home, my daughter asks me, Dad, what is happening about women football? So this year, what we did in Imphal, there was a friendly match between two women teams, and again it was fully subscribed, and the standard was very good. We have a few women's teams, especially in the Northeast, they are there. I was with Assam Rifles about 2.5 years back, and we had a very good women football team, and 3 of them are participating in the national team. So I'm fully aware of that we need to promote this, and we are thinking about it. This was just the beginning this year, that there was a friendly. But yes, it may not be immediate in the next edition, but we are seriously thinking about it, either along with this or as a separate tournament, as a precursor, so that at least we make a start. Because unless we promote on the same lines for the men's football, because many of the football legends of India have been the product of Durand Cup. Mm-hmm. And we would like similar thing to happen in women football also. So we are seriously contemplating about it, and if not in next edition, maybe next to next edition, we will certainly have more games at our hand.
Super. So just to give you this is my personal opinion. If India ever plays the Football World Cup, it will be women, not men.
Certainly.
Because last year, under 17, under 20, under 23, 3 teams qualified for the AFC. All are women teams.
Yes.
Under 17, under 20, under 23. If we see the level of talent among our women, that Manisha Kalyan goal has become part of legend, but the kind of support, if you see the rankings, 138 and mid-60s. So women's football in this country, as a scholar of sport, I see enormous potential. So if somebody of your stature, if the army comes in and supports women's football, gets them a Durand Cup, I think it can be massive. So
we are, as I said, we are seriously contemplating it, and something should come out of it. Because see, 2-3 things: infrastructure, and it needs to start from the school levels.
Correct.
Then at the district or state level, and thereafter at national level, we need to give them exposure, infrastructure, and the support, financial support, and in terms of coaching. That everything it's not that it's not happening, it is happening. But once you have another tournament, and where young talent is likely to be nurtured, it will certainly give fillip to women's sports.
It's time for me to take a quick break because Major General DK Singh has invited us to Fort William, and to sit inside Fort William on a day when it's not raining in Calcutta is sacrilegious. We need to take, you don't see this kind of green, not in our city. At least where I live, North Kolkata, it's a jungle, right? So it's a jungle of concrete. So with Major General DK Singh inviting us to some tea and coffee, I would want Sir to take us outside and get a stroll as well, and then ask him some more questions, like as part of the walk the talk or something like that. So time for a break. But before I go into that break, I'll leave you with some visuals. Major General Singh mentioned the crowd in Imphal. He mentioned the crowd in Ranchi, in Guwahati. Take a look for yourself. You will understand what he's talking about and the fervor. So go beyond Calcutta to try and understand the landscape of Indian football. Leave you with these visuals back after a very short break. Thanks for watching. So like I said, back after the break, and you can see the difference. We were inside and this is outside in Calcutta. Where do you see this level of green? It's beautiful. This city is pristine, trust me. When it rains, unbelievably beautiful. Fort William, not everybody has the opportunity of coming. I've had the privilege, thanks to Major General Singh. Unbelievably nice. So the question I wanted to ask you, we keep talking about synergy, partnership, stakeholders. You've gone to multiple states. You've gone to Jharkhand, you've gone to Assam, you've gone to Meghalaya, you're doing it in West Bengal. What's the kind of support you have received from these stakeholders?
Okay. Before I answer this specific question, a word about Vijay Durga Fort William.
Please, sir.
Now, as you said that there was not everybody can come in. But what we have started now is something known as a heritage walk. Any organization, any individual, it's an online portal. You can apply for it, and we have 4 to 5 in a month. It's a conducted tour of entire Vijay Durg and a visit to the War Memorial and the museum. So every Indian citizen is openly invited to come to Vijay Durg.
So I'll stop him there because I didn't know about it. The first organization that will register is Revsportz. Done. We will register because this is an unbelievable experience. I came in and I was kind of, just walking around a little
so
bit.
Much of history, so much of history along with it. So,
and it's maintained so well. You've kept it so beautifully. So please, this is a Durand interview and I'm conscious, but anyone listening, you want to come here to experience Indian history at its best and be a part of it, do register in the online portal and come. Yes, sir, to the question.
Coming back to the question, now being from the army, so I'll start that we want to thank the Chief of Defence Staff, who's the president of the Durand Football Tournament Society, the 3 chiefs who are vice presidents, thereafter the Eastern Army Commander, who's the patron for Durand Cup organizing committees, and in various states we have the local organizing committees. Every state has one. So that thanks to the Army, Navy and Air Force support. Second is the state governments. I will use you as a medium of thanking the state governments of Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam, Jharkhand, and West Bengal for their unstinted support. Before we could ask anything, the support answer was yes. And you can understand the tournament of this magnitude cannot move on unless you get the support. Because if state doesn't provide you those infrastructure, and if you have to pay for everything, you can understand what the costing goes up. Third, I will like to thank our sponsors. You'd be aware that Indian Oil is the main sponsor, and it is co-sponsored by Coal India and State Bank of India. So, and apart from them, there are a number of sponsors who have come in to help in small or big way. So I'm thankful for the unstinted support of the sponsors. Without them, we couldn't have done it. And there is a company who's organizes all the technical part, Cherry Tree. So I would like to thank all these, and more than that, the teams which are participating and the people who come to watch. Without their support, without the fans, we could have done nothing.
This is great to hear, sir. Two parts to your answer. One, we keep hearing that there is no money in anything beyond cricket. You've named multiple sponsors which are top names in Indian society, Indian Oil, Coal India and State Bank of India, coming to support a tournament as huge as the Durand Cup. So clearly if there is a will, there is a way. So that kind of tells us that Indian football does have a stronger future. Hope the other organizers and other federations are listening. Number two, you've talked about the synergy between state governments and the army. Again, if that kind of exists now, I think that will make a major change. So to depart a little bit.
May I interrupt you?
Yes.
And I think the biggest support has been the Honorable President of India.
Wow. Yeah, last year she had received the winners as well.
So now the Honorable President unveils the trophy and the trophy tour in Rashtrapati Bhavan, and the culmination is presenting the President's Cup to the winners again at Rashtrapati Bhavan. It doesn't happen for any other sport. So the support which we have got from the highest office and the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, I think that has kind of motivated us to do what we are doing.
Just take me a little bit backstage. I mean, I'm sure you were there last year. What did it mean for the winners in being there? Just give me a little bit more.
Imagine the team or the management, they're receiving the trophy by the hands of Honorable President in Rashtrapati Bhavan. I think there can be no bigger honor for any sports person or anybody who's associated with it. We have only seen the national awards being given by the President.
Correct.
So it takes you to that level. So I think that itself motivates every team to do that extra to win and be there at Rashtrapati Bhavan.
The other thing that I've seen with Durand so far, Maj Gen Singh, is no real fight between Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. That is surprising to me, because in every other sphere, these clubs keep alleging, favoritism, partiality, this, that. You all have been able to keep them at bay.
To be honest, the aim is to run a very, very transparent tournament and let the best team win. And they understand that there is no politics, there is no sports politics going on here. Yes, the fans will always say whatever they need to say, and that is what makes them big.
Good, yeah.
But from the club side, there has been
nothing. Do you
support
anyone?
I go back. I was defense attaché in Brazil with a concurrent accreditation to Argentina. And the World Cup was round the corner. Do I say anything more?
Brilliant answer. Brilliant answer. Last couple of questions, sir. It was difficult to resurrect Durand, because as a historian of sports, somebody who has followed Durand as a child growing up, Durand was one of the pivotal tournaments in India, and then there was a decline. Say around the 2018-19 period onwards, we have seen that resurrection. You've been part of that story. Can you just tell us a little bit how tough it was?
Yes, I'll just go back when this started in 1888. Thereafter, it was in Shimla. Post independence, the first Honorable President brought it to Delhi and handed it over for Army to run. Initially, it was a very successful tournament, but then I think football as a sport did not become as crowd gathering as cricket. And Delhi somehow was not, we realized that it was not getting the traction which the sport needed. So when Mr. Honorable Mohan Parikar ji was the defense minister, he moved it to Goa because that is another powerhouse for football. For 2 years it ran there, but unfortunately that traction which was needed was not there. So it came back to Delhi in 2016, and in 2019 it came to Eastern
Kolkata.
Command. Now, initially it was in Kolkata itself. Then as we realized that, other states, and it was not only that we reached out, the states also reached out that why are you not having matches in our states? So that is how it happened that, the willingness of the people, the government and the army to interact with each other, because the moment you find people inviting you and wanting you to play there, that itself gives you the impetus. So now we are doing it in 5 states. And it was in our last meeting which we had for Durand Football Tournament Society, we have been told that one of the pools should play out of Northeast. So in next edition, one pool will be going out of Northeast, so that it doesn't remain limited only to the Northeastern region. So we are in the process of talking to a few state governments.
So am I right, my last question, am I right that over a period of time, we all keep thinking forward, say in 5 years' time, you've already mentioned women, maybe 2 years down the line, it will become well and truly pan-India, 5 states, could be many more.
Yes, see, loosely if I say, because teams are coming from all over India.
All over, yeah. In that sense, it's already pan-India.
But yes, as far as holding the tournament another part, that is something because it needs a little bit of coordination, infrastructure, and so, but it is doable, and we are seriously planning, and we have to do it next year. So slowly we will see in case we can do it simultaneously in North India, West, South, Central and East. So it is a thing in, we are planning for it, and I hope it happens.
And lastly, in India, we have seen, even with the ISL, we have seen a lot of uncertainty. Whether it will, even this year, my personal assumption is it will not start on September 4th. It might be pushed to October. Not something that I'm wanting to elaborate here, but my personal assumption. As far as this tournament is concerned, last year the ISL didn't start on time. May I now say, with your consent, that the army is committed to this, at least for the foreseeable future? Durand is one that is permanently etched in the Indian football calendar.
Without any doubt, I can say with 100% certainty that will happen. The directions of the Durand Football Tournament Society is that till 2032, it will be held under the aegis of Eastern Command. Thereafter, maybe in 2031, they will take a decision as to how the tournament has grown. But I can assure you, whether it remains with Eastern Command, it goes to anywhere, but this tournament is here to stay and it is here to grow. That's all I will say about it.
Fantastic. So clearly Indian football, which has a lot of uncertainty, does have certainty as far as the Durand Football Tournament is concerned. It was wonderful speaking to Maj Gen Singh, because you can understand the positivity and the positive vibes that came up. 4 things for me, takeaways. 1, at least 2 years down the line, or serious thought is already going into starting the women's tournament. 2, going beyond cities, whether it's Meghalaya, whether it's the Northeast, whether it's Ranchi, whether it's Guwahati, crowds are coming in, so there are takers. 3, like he said, the partnership between various state governments, the army and other stakeholders, which starts from the very top of India, the Honorable President of India, personally taking initiative. Number 4, the certainty that he mentioned. So this is one interview that any football lover would love to have or listen, because it is like a breath of fresh air for a sport which has gone through quite a bit of turmoil. Maj Gen Singh, thank you
so
very,
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And to close, I'll borrow his words. May the best team win. If Mohun Bagan wins, I won't be unhappy.
Every morning, we wake up with dreams. Some wake up to protect them. While we chase the ball, they stand their ground. While we fight for every inch on the pitch, they fight for every inch of our land. We know what it means to sweat, to fall, to get back up, to keep going when your body says stop. But theirs is a sacrifice far greater. Because our game ends with a whistle, their duty never does. Today, we step onto the pitch freely. We play, we dream, we celebrate. Because someone chose to stand guard. So this Independence Day, we don't just celebrate freedom. We remember the ones who protect it. Salute the sacrifice, celebrate the freedom. Happy Independence Day.
For India's best multi-sports coverage, your platform is one, and that's Revsportz. So like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I think by now you know that we will be everywhere in different parts of the world and bring you on-ground reportage. As I said, your best multi-sports coverage on Revsportz, your favorite destination.